Hello my friends from the internet, Survive with Knife here today. Today I thought I would show you my Glock 27. And the reason I thought I'd show you this is I thought, for those of you guys out there that are looking at getting, maybe your first handgun, you're maybe looking at getting into concealed carry, and you're trying to figure out, what should you get? And what should you invest your money into? And if you don't have a large budget in order to work with, I think this here is a good path for new gun owners and new CCW holders to go down. And that is the Glock 27, which is also known as the Baby Glock. This is chambered in .40 Smith & Wesson. And the reason I recommend this gun is because, if you're going to get into CCW, you do want something small and compact so that you'll actually carry it. One of the things that I have noticed for myself and also for other CCW holders is that if the gun is uncomfortable and not easy to carry, guess what? You don't carry it. And that kind of defeats the purpose of even having a CCW license. So you want to have a system, you want to have a weapon that you will carry and that can also perform the job for you. And I think that's where the Glock 27 comes in. With the fact that it is chambered in .40 Smith & Wesson, you have a very powerful round. I'm a big fan of the .40. You have good penetration power. It's quite a bit more power than the 9mm. And in my opinion, if you actually look at the ballistics charts, it outperforms actually the .45. Now, some of you guys are going to argue with me on that, but the ballistic charts don't lie. The .40 Smith & Wesson is a higher velocity, smaller diameter round than the .45. So you're probably going to get more penetration out of it. The .45 is a great man stopper in the fact that it is a large bullet at a little bit lower velocity, and so it will expend most of its energy within the target, which does make it a good man stopper. The .40 caliber, however, is a little bit smaller projectile, traveling at a higher velocity. So you do have the chance of over penetrating more than you probably do with the .45. But it's definitely going to get the job done. The .40 will probably have a little bit snappier recoil than a .45, but that's just because of the higher pressures and the higher velocity round. You're just going to get a little bit more. So it does have definitely more stopping power than the 9mm. There's no argument about that, at least. But what I do like about the Glock 27 is the ability for you to add things to your gun and to extend its capabilities. So in a CCW role, the Glock 27 natively loaded with your .40 caliber hollow points. In this case, I have this loaded with Golden Sabers. I have 9 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. I do always carry 1 in the pipe, so I have 10 rounds to go. So there we go. This is what I'm going to be carrying when I am exercising my CCW license. I'm going to be carrying this gun loaded in this current configuration. However, let's say I wanted to use this gun for home defense. Since it's not being carried in my waistband, I might want higher capacity. So, since Glock magazines are always interchangeable in the same caliber versions, this is the Glock 23 magazine with the A&G grip extension on here. So if I'm using this gun for home defense, let's say I've come home and I've placed this gun into a safe on my nightstand, and I want to have more rounds in case of a home invasion. I put the Glock 23 magazine in here with 13 rounds of .40 Smith & Wesson. one in the pipe, giving me 14 rounds with the grip extension to make it comfortable. Slap that in there, and now I have a good weapon with 14 rounds of powerful ammunition, 40 Smith & Wesson, that I can use for home defense. Now, the other thing that you can consider is 40 Smith & Wesson is a more expensive round to shoot when you go to the range than its 9mm counterpart. So, Lone Wolf distributors out there have made barrels for the Glocks to allow you to shoot 9mm out of your 40 cal. This is actually the Glock 23 barrel. And the reason I got the Glock 23 barrel for my Glock 27 was I'm actually planning on getting a Glock 23, so I wanted a barrel that would work in both my guns. So I have not purchased my Glock 23 yet, but I will be getting that soon. So, if you're going to the range and you want to shoot the cheaper 9mm ammunition, let's make sure the gun is clear. It is. You can simply swap barrels out. Remove the guide rod and spring, and the barrel, slap in the barrel. There we go. Now I'm ready to shoot 9mm. A little bit cheaper ammo, so I can shoot this at the range. I've put a little over 100 rounds through this Lone Wolf barrel. I've had one malfunction with it, but other than that, it's shot flawlessly. Pretty accurate also. So for the 9mm barrel, I purchased a Glock 19 magazine with a 15 round capacity, and also added the A&G grip extension onto here. So now, throwing that magazine in, I now have the barrel length of the Glock 19 with the magazine capacity of the Glock 19. So basically, I have a Glock 19 here. Now, this is not what I'm going to use for CCW with the longer barrel and the added grip. You can carry the Glock 19 for CCW. Many people do. It's just not my preference. It's a little on the large side for me, personally. And I do like the 40 cal round for CCW. But there we go. Now I have a great range gun. I can practice with this. And there we go. So now I basically have two guns in one. Another option that would be good is you also have the high point guns out there, which actually are pretty good for the amount of money that you're putting into them. So those would also be good options for those wanting to get into concealed carry and into maybe their first handgun. But you want to go and spend a little bit more money, basically, with these few custom items here. The barrel was around $100 for me. These added grips were, I think, $10 for a pack of 2. And the magazines are going to usually run you around, I believe, around $20. So, I have a Glock 19 here right now and a Glock 27. So I basically have two Glocks in one. There you go, guys. Have a good day. Stay safe out there.